All right, this is just a quick video about what the inside of a personal computer looks like. Keep in mind, this computer is approximately 20 years old. If you look closely here, it says Windows ME, Millennium Edition. A millennium as in the year 2000. So that gives you an idea how old this is. So just keep that in mind as we go through. So anyway, you have, this is what we call the tower. And this is the cover for the tower, which I've already removed so we can see the inside. And this is just kind of falling off here, right? I've already removed it. Also removed some of the connections to make things easier to see. But this right here is the motherboard, okay? And this part that's askew, this is the fan that's covering the CPU, all right? The brains of the computer. And the fan usually sits on top of that CPU to make sure that it doesn't get too hot. There's also a fan, what we call a case fan over here, okay? And the case fan is actually connected to the power supply, right? So you can get electricity to the computer. But going back to the motherboard, the mother of all boards, all right? This connects everything to the computer. Now I've disconnected a couple things, like this is CPU cable, will go right here, and this particular one is connected to the what we call the CD drive or CD-ROM drive. All right? So that would be considered secondary storage. Another example of secondary storage is the floppy disk drive down here. And there's the back of it. You don't see floppy disk drives anymore, but another example of secondary storage. And you can remove that, obviously, from the computer with a floppy disk or CD. Okay, coming back to the motherboard, this right here, where it says ITE, that's the BIOS chip, basic input-output services, all right? It basically boots up your computer. Without that, your computer's not gonna boot up when you turn it on. Basically wakes up the computer. Over here, we have the RAM, random access memory. That's primary storage for your computer. Over here is what we call this the modem. All right. Well, obviously, the modem is what connects us to the internet. A lot of times we have wireless modem. This one has, you know, the attachment there for the cable, which would run right to your, you know, your internet hookup. Okay. There's also, this is what's called a port. There's two other ports that are not being used. But you could have a graphics card and a sound card there, all right? For you gamers out there, you need to make sure you have a good graphics card, all right? So my grandmother didn't need that because she didn't play games. All right, moving on. We have over here, I've already mentioned up here, this is your CD-ROM drive. You have your floppy disk drive, and this is the hard drive. When you save data to your computer itself, this is where it gets stored, to the hard drive, okay?